What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
This man texted the coach 9 hours before the game to say, I might not be able to play. Who does that? Who does that? 9 hours? 9 hours. Do you know what you can do in 9 hours? Do you know what you can do in 9 hours? How many of y'all operate on 4 or 5 hours sleep? I'm trying to tell you, a cat nap for an hour can make you feel like a new man. How about 4? How about 5? He's Joel Embiid. It's the playoffs. You trying to tell me he couldn't get to the facility and still get 6-7 hours sleep? Ladies and gentlemen, you can take a nap while they wrapping your ankles. You can take a nap while they giving you a massage. You can take a nap while they rubbing your knees. A pedicure, a manicure. It doesn't matter. You can fall asleep for all of that. I would know. I've done it. And I'm not some metrosexual dude that needs all of that stuff, even though it looked that way sometimes, because I like my massages now. Make no mistake about it. I like my massages. And my hands have always been magnificent, no question about it. But my feet, damn, it's needed work from time to time. So I've had my pedicures too.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Family. Back at it again. Welcome, family, to another edition of Above the Rim, episode 102. Brought to you, as always, by your honorable host, Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. And joining me this week, family, I got another special guest. As always, as I always do, one of my homies that I've connected with in this podcast game, our honorable brother himself, all the way out on the West Coast. One of the hosts of one of the dopest pods you're going to hear out there, the Raw and Uncut podcast, host of the Raw and Uncut podcast, my dog, my homie, Akeem. What's good, my brother? How you living?
Man, what's good, fam? Oh, man, I'm living great, man. It's an honor to be back on the show, man. I made it, man. I made it in this thing, baby.
I appreciate you coming through, man. Double time for the second time, too. You know, after the last one, I had to have you back. Because you've been talking a lot of shit on your Philadelphia 76ers, so I had to.
Rightfully so.
Been talking the spiciest of all spice you've been talking about.
Yeah. I'm ready, man.
Yes, sir. And family, as always, you can find Above the Rim anywhere you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, YouTube, lineups.com. To get in contact with your boy, you can always hit me up. Follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513. That's JUSBLAZE_513. IG is Just Blaze 513. On Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. You already know the drill. Email the show Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Call up to talk about it line. Leave a voicemail 908-718-1592. And where can the family find you, my brother?
Hey, man, I'm Raw and Uncut everything. So rawanduncut.com. I'm Raw and Uncut for the IG and the Twitter. Just Google me. You know what I mean?
Google me.
Just Google me, man. I'm in that thing.
Talk about it.
I'm in there.
Yes, sir. So let's get right into it. Who's around the NBA right now? So I had a little break, 2-week break, I don't know if you want to call it a hiatus, a little sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. And opening night schedule has been released. Christmas schedule has been released. A couple of interesting tidbits there on opening night. The NBA has announced it's going to be the Raptors, it's going to be the Pelicans, and Zion's debut game headlining the season, which is kind of crazy to me. I mean, I would have liked a more intriguing first matchup for the it's not really an East Coast game because it's technically in New Orleans, but they usually do it East and the West. But me personally, I know it's a lot of Zion hype right now, but for me personally, I would have liked a little bit more intriguing matchup for that first game. What were your thoughts on that on the first game, Akeem?
I just want to see Zion play, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Me too.
Man. Like, I don't care if he was playing the Suns, bro. Like, hey, I want to see what he do because he was killing in college. So I want to see what he does when they can scheme, they can trap him fast, long, just as athletic. Well, I don't know if it's just as athletic, but they're gonna be skilled. I want to see that. So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't even take no heat to it. It wasn't no problem for me.
That's true. Maybe I'll be a little harsh because I do want to see, actually. I really do, because he had a very limited summer league. He only played 1 game, I believe. So not a lot of reps in it. A lot of people are saying that he's going into camp. Hopefully he'll be healthy by then because he is dealing with a knee issue. So we hopefully that he recovers from there. So it's true though. I agree with you. I am excited to see him in the game. Well, maybe it's because the sting is taken out of it with the Raptors and Kawhi leaving. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
And in the second game, we got the LA Civil War. We got the Lakers and the Clippers.
I'm excited about that, man.
I'm excited about that as well. But I don't think it's going to be too much juice in that first game because I still feel like it's going to be a little feel-out game. And it's the first game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just depends on how we want to look at it, man. You know, I think Kawhi Leonard personally is going to go out there and try to show that, hey, I'm better than LeBron James. You know what I mean? Then Paul George is going to come out and say, hey, AD can play, but I'm better than him. You know what I mean? And I think they're going to come out and try to make a statement. And hey, they're in the same stadium. Whose stadium is it game? You know what I mean? It's my house. And I will come out, you know, I know it's footballish, boy, but I'm coming out, man, with flags and people running. I'm telling you right now, man, it's gonna come. I'm coming out there, hoorah.
Well, listen, that first game is about to be jumping. I'll tell you that right now. It damn sure is. But I think I've been hearing a lot of rumblings that Paul George won't be ready to start the season. Or he might not be ready to start the season because he's still recovering from the shoulder surgery. So that's going to be interesting to watch if he's not ready by then.
Yeah, and it's going to be a mental game if they end up winning without him.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, I think they got more to lose. I think the Lakers got more to lose in that game. To be honest with you, you know, LeBron's teams normally take about a year or two to kind of get that chemistry going because they kind of play his style of game. I don't think he can play the up and down game anymore. So his half court, pass to the AD go to work. That's probably how it's going to kind of look. I mean, they're going to get some transition buckets, of course, but...
Of course. Well, it's going to be high energy because everyone's going to be ramped up or amped up in the first game as well.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that Vogel character.
Oh, man. I've never been sold on no Frank Vogel.
I've never been sold on this guy, man. He can't stay anywhere. Nobody likes him.
Indiana.
He improved the Kings, but I think the Kings are just ready. You know what I mean? So
he was on the Magic too.
He did he's
Magic.
and Jason Kidd is really the head coach. We all know it. So we'll see how that dynamics works out, man.
Well, you know that's going to be a soap opera this season. ESPN going to continuously put that Laker coverage on. We know that.
Well, I'm in the West Coast, so imagine. It's on every network and station you can imagine.
Oh, man, I already know it's out of control. You know how they overrate them Laker, boy.
Yeah, Lakers and Cowboys.
Yes,
everybody.
And the Christmas Day schedule also is Clippers and Lakers as well. They got the Pelicans and Nuggets. They got the Celtics and Raptors. The Bucks versus your Sixers, which I think will be the most intriguing matchup of on Christmas Day. And then they got the Rockets and Warriors. So I'm looking forward to those games as well. And I think it's a nice little litmus test between the Bucks and your Sixers to see who's at the top of the East at that point.
Yeah, and I don't think... I mean, they are the second best team in the East. You know what I mean? So I will say that it's going to be...
Wait, who's the second best?
The Milwaukee Bucks are the second best in the East. Come on, man. I know people. I know. Look, man. Well, we're there. Look, Ben Simmons, Embiid's more mature. Tobias is ready to go. He's going to be more comfortable. Then we got Josh. Come on, man. And let's just be real, man. Like, the whole squad,
Wait, hold on. I know you about to get into it right away. Let's break before we get right into that.
All right, man, because, hey, you brought it up.
Yeah, you're right. Because we got a whole episode for that. I'm ready for that. But really quick, I wanted to touch on this really fast. Melo on First Take, really quick. So this was a very nice, interesting piece of news that we got last week. It was last Friday. I wanted to briefly discuss Melo this episode. I'm gonna be talking about it a lot more in the next episode, because I'm probably gonna have Melo Reem on here, because he's a Melo all day, every day. He's gotta get his thoughts out.
I like Melo though, man.
Yeah, me too, man. And so if you don't know, if you're living under the rock, Melo had he went on First Take last week to do an exclusive interview with Stephen A. And in an attempt to do what I would like to call damage control to me. So long story short, he did an impressive, I would say, 1-hour interview, essentially trying to debunk some of those narratives around him about him wanting a farewell tour, how the Houston Rockets front office, they showed their ass and they snaked Melo off the roster. That he's been working hard, he's been training, ready to get back in the league, regardless of role, fit, whatever the case may be. And my personal thoughts, I think it was a smart move by Melo. I think it was a great move for him to finally do this interview, finally hit for the public to him, speak on it. And I feel like he should have done this a little bit earlier, but this is fine. Either case may be, because it's getting towards the end of summer. I would have liked him to have done this at the start of free agency, because I think it would have done pretty well for his image and his perception. And it's seeming like that it's been received fairly well from the public. But I'm happy that he got this off his chest, and hopefully I feel like it does work out for Melo. And I know for damn sure Melo should be on a roster right now, because it's out of control. And hopefully it does fend off some of the stigmas around Melo right now from some of these casual NBA fans, I'll call them. I think Melo was washed up. What were your thoughts, Akeem?
Man, I really think, because I'm first and foremost, I'm a huge Melo fan.
Too.
Already from Syracuse, man. And, I think he shouldn't have left Denver. That's just, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying, man, the whole Houston situation, to me, just screams scandalous.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
What?
Didn't call him. Found out in this hotel room ready for a game. I mean, come on. Are we serious? Like, how unprofessional is this? And then I think they were really leveraging the fact that the media has already been talking bad about him. You know what I mean? And I think they kind of already figured, like, hey, we can do this because he doesn't have a good, track record anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we can get rid of him. And I just don't get it
already, basically.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, and what makes it even worse, everything after this interview, not a Rocket came out saying anything to rebuke what he was saying. So that just tells me that all what he was saying was facts.
Yes.
And if that's the case, if I'm James Harden, if I'm some of these cats in that organization, man, I'm telling you, man, after this year, I'm looking to go.
Yeah.
Because like, the organization is scandalous, man. They do that to him, they do it to anybody.
Oh, yes. And the fact that, first of all, there was a lot of snakeage going on at this time. There was a lot of backhanded things going around behind the scenes. And I feel like James Harden isn't receiving enough of the blame for this, because I don't think anything around that organization happens without at least a little heads up to James Harden or something like that, because he is a franchise player. And you see Daryl Morey, how he does everything that James Harden asks him to do. You see, he wanted Russell Westbrook. He made it happen for him to get Russell Westbrook. Didn't care who he got rid of the team. It didn't matter at that point. But the fact that how they move the Houston Rockets, I definitely didn't like how they did that to Melo, especially how he told him, and he said, basically, we no longer need your services after 10 games in. Like, the way that was orchestrated was really suspect. And then they didn't come out and speak about it till about a game after, I believe, the next game. So it was a lot of backhanded stuff going on right there, and I definitely didn't like how that went down, especially the what's going on this summer as well with them saying they're not going to trade Chris Paul, and then they eventually traded Chris Paul a few weeks later. So there's a lot of question marks around that Houston Rockets front office that I'm not too fond of.
Yeah, I agree, man. And also I agree with you with James Harden not getting enough of the... He should be getting a lot of that blame. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, let's just look at his history from Dwight Howard. Mm-hmm. He got him out of there. Then all of a sudden, then CP3, they ain't cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then like Melo's
exits.
Yeah, Melo situation, and then now you got Russell here. If this don't work out, man, James can't play with nobody.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's a problem with him, I guess, sharing the spotlight, I guess, sharing the leadership, I guess, but...
I don't know. I just think it has something to do with his legacy, man.
Yeah. It's definitely something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I think so. I think, if you think about it, I think he's not taking any accountability for what he does in games for losses. You know what I mean? Maybe he's trying to put it on somebody else. You know what I mean? And, have a scapegoat. You know what I mean?
It always looks like the Rockets have a scapegoat to when their seasons don't go as planned, honestly. It always seems like they have one, or someone is anointed as a scapegoat. So,
we know what the problem is, man.
Oh, yes, that coaching.
The coaching.
Easily. Without a doubt.
Man, I don't know what is going on out there, but
I
don't know, man.
Episode on that, man. I can't sit here and rant on those boys right now. So let's get to your 76ers, because that's what we here for. That's what we came here for. Yo, boys, so I brought my man Akeem on here today, really to dive into his 76ers, because this, like I said, this man has been talking the spiciest of spice.
Well, I mean, it's just. You know what I mean?
When it comes to his 76ers, and some of it is warranted. I'm not going to front. He definitely has reason to. So let's dive into their offseason, because they had a quite the eventful offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Re-signed Tobias, $180 million. Huge deal, 5-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Signed Al Horford, $109 million.
Huge.
Mm-hmm. Acquired Josh Richardson from the Miami Heat in the Jimmy Butler deal.
That was big time.
Solid acquisition. They signed Kyle O'Quinn under the radar.
Mm-hmm. I like him too. Trey Burke, my man Trey Burke, which I'm a huge fan of coming out of Michigan. I really like Trey Burke, so I think he's gonna be a solid pickup for you. And you guys re-signed that bum James Ennis. Scrub James Ennis, I don't know why you think James hit big shots in the playoffs for us this year, man.
Well, I'm talking about James Ennis from him being on the Rockets. And I can see that, but I'm talking about for us. Clumsy.
He gave us great defense, great minutes. You know what I mean?
Did he really? I mean,
man,
he gave Brewer clone to me.
Oh man, he was. No, Corey Brewer's trash. James Ennis gave us something off the bench, man.
I'm taking Corey.
I think in one game he had like 14 points, man. He was hooping.
I'm not a fan.
I think this guy's left my team. I can say the same.
Yeah, that's true. I can't deal with Corey Brewer 2.0. But you guys lost Jimmy Butler, lost JJ Redick, big losses, which I think can be understated right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna start off with you, Akeem. So you tell me, what grade would you give the 76ers for their offseason in your opinion?
Well, I mean, losing Jimmy, I cannot give us an A. You know what I mean? I got to give us a B+. I think losing somebody like Jimmy, for what I read a lot on it, is that they didn't want to give him the max. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's 35. I mean, not 35, but he's 30, and he wanted the max deal. I think he wanted 5. So I just didn't see us paying that. We don't know if he was on decline around 33. I mean, it'd probably be hard to trade him at that time. I mean, but at the same time, the East is wide open. It's his championship year. If we'd have had him back, we would have been guaranteed to go to the finals, I think, with that. But I think losing him bumps our grade to a B+. Now, I will say, re-signing Tobias, getting Trey Burke, I like Josh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we got some young talent around too, man. Like, you know, Zaire Smith, nobody even knows about yet, but the dude hoops.
Yes.
And he was hurt last year out of Texas Tech. He was hurt.
You didn't get to see him last year.
He didn't get to see him. And the cat balls. I mean, he's very athletic, shooting guard that can just flat out play. And then we drafted a defensive specialist. Man, this cat out, he I don't know if you've seen the summer league with him hooping, man, but he's a hooper.
No, he is, and he's very athletic. He plays some strong defense, and he definitely has a developing offensive game. So I do believe he deserves some PT this year. He definitely should.
Yeah, my boy Bolden. He's a beast.
Bolden, yes, him too.
Bench guy.
What's his name? Jonah Bolden, I believe, right?
Yeah, Jonah Bolden.
Yeah.
Bench guy, 6'10", UCLA, baby.
So you gave him a B+. Me, when I did my evaluations, I gave him a B because I do feel like the 76ers, they made some quality signings that wouldn't rock their chemistry. But I'm just not a fan in particular of the guard play for your boys right now. I thought you guys could have done a better job in that department in terms of guard play. Because what I see right now is I see a team full of slashers and a team full of quality big men. So last year, I felt like the paint was a little bit too crowded last year with J.J. Redick as a shooter, with Jimmy Butler, who can shoot. He's not a shooter, but he can shoot.
Streaky.
Streaky shooter when he gets hot, whatever the situation calls for. And I really thought the paint was a little bit crowded last year. But now, you insert Al Horford into that 4 spot. Now you have to bump Tobias down to the 3 spot. You got Josh Richardson at the 2. Ben Simmons, lack of jump shot at the 1.
He's working on it.
We about to talk about that soon because I haven't seen him in the gym. So I'm going to give it a B and the reason why I'm going to give it a B because I feel like they could have easily could have been bumped up to an A, but I feel like I'm not crazy about the Al Horford pickup. And I know you've been screaming on Twitter. You're feeling the Al Horford pickup. You're screaming defense to me, lockdown D. We got 7-footer, we got 6'10", we got 6'8". I hear you on that. But the reason why I'm not a fan of the pickup is because I feel like what you guys needed more so than another like 5-4, because Al Horford can play the 4, of course, but I feel like he's best at the 5. And I feel like you guys needed to upgrade on the wing or upgrade at the guard position. So for me personally, I would have went after reallocated those resources to go after a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, somebody like that with the same type of money that Al Horford got. I think he got a little bit less. He's cheaper, younger, fits a style of play a little bit better so that you can allow Joel Embiid to eat in the paint more. So, and he must be your number 1 option in order for you guys to win big. So I feel like I'm not crazy about this Al Horford fit here, but why are you so excited about Al Horford coming? Because I don't see it.
Well, there's a couple reasons. For one, he's insurance in case Embiid can't play for 20-something games.
True.
You know what I mean? If he can't play for 20-something games, we're not going to lose a beat. We're going to come in there and we're going to ball.
That
right?
is true.
So that's insurance. And then number 2, when we play the Milwaukee Bucks, they got a guy by the name of the Freak. And Al Horford is going to physically and veteran-like outwit him. And that is where Embiid he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do it. And he can just go to work and do his thing, man. So that's 2 folds. And then also look at our lineup. We got 6'10", Ben Simmons. Okay. Then we got Josh Richardson. Richardson, what is he like? 6'7"?
6'7", somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Super athletic too.
Yeah, super athletic. Tobias, 6'9", 6'10", somewhere around there. Then we got big Al Horford. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. He's 6'10". Embiid is 7 feet. I mean, them arms. The arms are in and out of the paint.
I like the length.
I mean, huh?
No, I said I like the length. I do like.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general the defense. So what's going to happen? There's going to be some low scoring games because I think the points are going to have to come from Embiid. Tobias is going to have to average 20. Ben Ben's going to have to average 20. I think Horford to give us 15, but he's going to give us 15 and 10. You know what I mean? Like, and them 10 rebounds are probably going to where he's going to get his buckets. And he can hit a mid-range. If you want to double team Embiid, come on now. I see great things, man.
So I knew you were going to bring that up. So I do agree with you on a lot of those points because the defensive potential is off the charts. So I'm not going to lie. So I'll be honest. If y'all are not top 3 defensive team in the league, there's a problem. Because you have all the makers to be a top-flight, top-notch defensive team. And Al Horford, I do see the positives in picking him up. It's definitely not all bad of a sign. I just would have went a different route, but I do see the positives. And he's like a low-maintenance, veteran, smart player that, like you said, will be able to defend Giannis because if we looked in the postseason, he really did. He didn't shut him down, but he did a great job on Giannis in that series against the Celtics. So,
and then it helps that, you know, because Al Horford gives Embiid trouble.
He does, yes.
So let's imagine if he'd have been signed again, re-signed with Boston or something, with Kemba coming over.
He does, but see, to me, my issue is that I think Tobias excels best at the 4 because him at the 4 will allow you to have another shooter on the floor, even though Al Horford can shoot, but he's not a knockdown shooter. He's not a sniper. And when I look at that entire roster, there's not one sniper on that team. So you need the driving lanes. You need them open in order for Ben Simmons.
Hold on. So we saying Richardson is not a sniper?
He's not a sniper, no.
He's above league average.
He shot, 36% from 3 or something like that? 35, 36?
Yeah, he's pretty good, man.
Pretty average, but he's not a knockdown shooter. Is he a JJ Redick knockdown shooter?
No, but JJ, you see what he does in the playoffs. So I'm only going on what the eye test.
JJ does tend to go to sleep during the playoffs, but it's because it was a lot because of the offense that you guys were running, and you guys did run into great defensive teams in the postseason. But JJ Redick and the offensive scheme that you guys were running were pretty ridiculous. You know, I always say that all I see you guys running are dribble handoffs after dribble handoff to JJ to Jimmy.
We're definitely not doing that this year.
There better not be because. Who you dribble handing off to this time?
I see Avery Johnson is one of our assistant coaches. So,
oh really?
I think some things are going to switch up. Yeah.
See that'll be nice. See with this because you guys are a big team, so it's a very tall, very athletic team as well. Al Horford is still technically, I mean, he's not athletic, but he can still get up there. Al Horford. But I love the defensive potential here, but I'm just. I feel like, I mean, you see with the Sixers, I like it, but I don't love it. You get what I'm saying?
So it's just like I said, it's insurance. So when Embiid doesn't have to play so many minutes, like
$100 million insurance though.
Yeah, I'm telling you what's going to happen is Embiid is not going to play that many minutes. He's gonna have a huge drop in minutes during the regular season. He's going to be fresh in the playoffs. So the scheme is going to be that Al plays a lot of those minutes. So you will see Tobias at the power, and then you're going to see our rookie at the small.
Well, Zaire.
So Zaire's going to be the 2. I'm talking about what is his name? Matisse.
Yeah. Oh, damn! I'm forgetting his last name. Yes, I know who you're talking about though.
And what's his top? Well, no, he can't start. Well, some game. Why can't he start? Why can't he start sometime?
Matisse, was it a Thibault or something?
Yeah, I don't know how to say that last name, man. Maybe he's got to get a couple buckets for me to remember that. Yeah, he get a couple buckets, man. He started doing some things, man. I'm gonna remember it quick. But
word.
But what I will say is, man, he can play both sides of the ball. He's a spot up 3-point shooter. He plays excellent defense. Remember, he was Defensive Player of the Year for 2 years in a row at Washington. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's not a slouch. He can play ball, and not just that. You know, I mean, if you really want to go, we could put Zaire at 2 and put Richardson at the 3, and then we got shooters right there. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're very optimistic. I love the optimism from you. I can't lie. I love the optimism, but can we talk about something that's more important?
Okay.
The bench. The bench production is extremely suspect to me. So how are you going to defend this lack of bench production to me? Because you seem to be.
I don't see the lack. I don't see the lack.
You don't see the lack. So like we talked about this before, right? So who's the number one option coming off the bench? Well, obviously Brett Brown's gonna have to stagger those starters a lot, and Al Horford's gonna have to play a lot with the second unit and come in as second unit. But he's not a go-to scorer, in my opinion. Maybe
Trey Burke can come off the bench and give us buckets.
Trey Burke can get you some buckets, right? He can.
Yeah, he's gonna come off the bench and give us some buckets. And okay, I'm gonna say it, Mike Scott. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Mike Scott dog, 31 years old. Man, he's going to give us 6 to 8 points, man. And don't be surprised if it ain't 10. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know.
I mean, Mike, stop. He's not a scrub. Okay, he's not a scrub. I'm not trying to disrespect. He's not a scrub. But, I mean, you can't be Are you relying on him to be a number 2 scorer off the bench? Because that shouldn't be. Any production you get from a guy like Mike Scott is a luxury or excess, because what he brings to the table is energy. He'll play some defense because he can play some defense. You need a on the squad. You need one of those
3-point percentage last season, 40%.
And you see also what I don't like. I don't like Embiid, Horford, and O'Quinn there as well. I think
O'Quinn is going to get buried on the bench just a little bit.
But then what was the point of signing it?
Like I said, if Embiid is out, then you got O'Quinn can come on for Horford. So we all right, man, for Al.
Yeah, but you see the problem is you keep saying if Embiid is out. Now, to me, that's a problem if you keep saying if Embiid is out, because the 76ers...
Well, the reason why is I think they're going to because I think he was fatigued, man.
And I think in the postseason?
Yeah, I think he was. He was. And I think he's out of shape. He has to come in better shape this year. He was out of shape, man. Let's just be real.
Thank you for admitting that, because when I say that, I feel like people think I'm attacking him when I say that Embiid was out of shape, because he looked out of shape to me last year.
Man, he was out of shape, bro. He was huffing. And he was just tired, man. And I think that's the reason why you saw that emotion when he lost the game, because he felt some type of accountability, man. Like, man, I'm not where I want to be physically, because I could have just worked this all. You know what I mean? Like,
he should have been, but...
It's just what he wasn't there. I mean, our backup was Amir Johnson, man.
But is Amir Johnson? Did he come back to the roster? I don't even know.
He came back, man, to the Sixers.
He's there too?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of bigs you guys have. Damn, that's another big.
Yeah, they're gonna end up. I don't know if he'll last on the roster though.
Yeah, that's a lot. So I'm glad you brought up Embiid, because to me, the team goes as far as Joel Embiid will take them, obviously, in my opinion. So last year...
He's a superstar.
So last year, 27 and 11, I believe he averaged 2 blocks. Was in the Defensive Player of the Year running.
Did you say 27 and 11?
I believe so, yeah. Was it more or less?
13.
Oh, 27, 13.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, 13 is a solid number. I can't. Well, listen, Embiid is a beast. That's no question. No,
3 assists.
He's a monster. But is he the best big man in the game right now?
Oh, by far. And I know people like...
By far?
They like the Joker and all that. Let me say this, man. One-on-one basketball can not nobody, I don't care who's on him, like even come close to tying his shoes, man. Like, he can shoot mid-range. He got finesse games. He can put the ball on the ground for a couple. He gave you 2-3 dribbles. And then at the end of the game, if you notice, he calls and begs for the rock, man. Like, what big man does it? And and when he gets it, he tries to walk you under the hoop like Diesel. You remember what Shaq used to do?
Oh, wait, stop. You cannot compare him to Shaq.
No. What I'm just saying, there's Shaq-like things that he does, especially at the end of the game.
He's like brute force in the paint.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's nobody physical. Like, there's no center physical like Embiid in the league right now.
That to me,
Jokic is finesse.
Yeah, that to me is his strength, that physicality under the rim. But that also is my problem with him, because he doesn't utilize it enough. See, when you see Joel Embiid, right, and he's supposed to, like you always say, feed the big man. I always see you like that, feed the big man, give it to him. But the problem is that Joel Embiid doesn't always want to bang inside in the post. And a lot of times I don't see a baby jump hook from him 9 times out of 10. He's more of to me, what he likes to do is he likes to face up. And that to me is an issue sometimes with Joel Embiid, because I think he can be more effective than he already is at this point. And
do you think that's him or is that coaching?
a little bit of both. I would say a little bit of both, because Brett Brown is not forcing it, but
He should.
But the problem is Joel Embiid. He should know better, though. Shouldn't he know better?
Well, I just think that's just a generation of big man shooting jumpers, man. It's AAU basketball.
And he's drifting out a little too much, though. I feel like he's liking to drift out a lot.
They run pick and rolls for him at the top of the elbow, at the top of the key. Like, what are we running pick and rolls with the big man at the top of the key for?
And a lot of dribble handoffs as well.
Man, isolate, throw the ball down there. If they come, kick. I mean, it's easy basketball.
But let me tell you the problem with that. And I think this is the reason why they don't do it. And the reason why I feel like they don't do it, because if they do double up, the person who's going to help with Joel Embiid is always going to be Ben Simmons, man. Always. And the problem is that you can't rely on him kicking out to Ben Simmons, of course. So that also ultimately is going to be the liability on the court at that particular time. I
agree, but he didn't cut to the basket or put him behind him.
Should be.
Put him behind him then. Put Ben on the opposite side of the floor behind him. If you want to come from
door cut.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's basketball. It's not, it's not hard. Like,
to me, that's simple mathematics, not simple offensive execution, in my opinion. But you see, the problem with that is, in order to do that,
I agree with that.
You gotta have 3 other shooters on the floor. Now, do you have 3 other shooters to place on the floor with Joel Embiid, with Ben Simmons, like you had last year? Because you had it.
I think JJ Redick was a huge one, but he doesn't play any defense, so I was cool with him leaving. I think Richardson is a below him, yes. But I will say, man, I just don't see us dropping off because of Richardson, man. He's going to hit a lot of open shots. I think Tobias is going to hit a lot more shots. I think Jimmy had a lot of that.
Should.
I think Jimmy had a lot of the shots too, man. That towards the end of the game, he definitely was trying to close the game out. He did a really good job doing that. But I still think it was in the plan that Embiid couldn't close and neither could Tobias. I mean, so we'll see, man. I like, but you're so right. But even if you're a superstar, you got to be able to beat double teams too, though.
Yeah,
you got to be able to beat double teams. So, hey, get the ball to him and let him go to work.
He's not a bad passer neither. He's a solid passer.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. He's not. I mean, he's not. Paul. Marcus All or nothing.
Oh, no, of course not. But I mean, he can at least identify where the open man is. Simple basics.
Oh, yeah, he's not. He doesn't have tunnel vision.
Yeah.
But next year he's gonna be going for MVP though.
Oh, Spice. Well, he's got.
Man, I'm not just throwing this out there, man. I'm just being real. Like he's gonna. At one point last year, he was in the conversation.
Oh yes, he definitely was. And with those numbers, that's nothing to sneeze at. 27-13, 2 blocks. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Oh, and 3 assists. 3 assists. Throw that in.
So to me, his best attribute will be his availability. I feel like next season. So if he can play 70+ games, I think he's definitely can be in a running for MVP. For sure. And I think also as well with the departure of Jimmy Butler, I feel like Tobias Harris has to take the biggest step forward this season, along with Joel and Ben Simmons, because he's got to be a closer. I think he has to be a closer, and he's got to give you, I'm going to say, realistically, I think Tobias has to give you 23 a night.
I agree. I agree. 20 and above. He definitely has to be our closer, but I really think the Sixers are betting on the growth of Tobias and Ben Simmons this year. Yeah. So I think by that, I think they're gonna have to rely on them, man, early in the season to close games and to get some big buckets, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited because Al Horford he's a winner.
He is.
He knows how to keep things together, man.
A winning veteran.
And he's a man, and let me tell you, man. He will mess around and get 20 and 10 on the team. He's going to be by himself, bro. Like,
well, I'll tell you right now, you guys should be eating on the glass. I'll tell you right now, you guys should never be giving up offensive rebounds with that size on that roster.
That's why I believe when we play teams like the Lakers in the West,
match up well with them. Actually,
we match up well, man. And I'm telling you, like first of all, I don't know, like. Cousins, he does not want to see Embiid. Like, he doesn't. I don't care if he's healthy or not. Embiid's always walked him.
LaVarcus Cousins?
Yeah.
LaVar over there, slow ass DeMarcus. I'm like, please.
And then AD, come on. Then we got Al for him. You know what I mean? He's a veteran.
We just don't have nobody. AD too, we just don't have nobody. You gotta stop hating on Anthony Davis, man.
I like him. Hold on, man. He is great power forward, man. He's the best power forward in the league. Yeah. But he's not a center. He's not a center. No,
he's not a center. He's a full.
But they always compare him like he's a center. He's not a center, man.
That's true. That is true.
So Al, and then let's go down the roster. Ben is going to be on LeBron James.
Yes.
And I want you to take a look at those matchups when they play. So Ben, I'm not saying he stops him, but he does force him to make some terrible shots sometimes, man. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you picking the finals already. Sixers and Lakers. Is that what?
No, Clippers. I got. If you want to, you know what though? I don't know. Let me take that back. You know what, Jess? Let me think about that.
Hold on, reel that in, brother. Reel that in.
let me think about that before the season, man. I have some type of prediction right now.
Okay.
It's a fan pick, man. And me to pick the Clippers, but
I hear you.
I like Utah, and I like a lot of teams over there.
Me too. So I'm glad you brought up Ben Simmons, because let's get into to Ben Simmons.
Let's get it.
Expectations for Ben Simmons, right? So we've been seeing Ben in the gym this summer. My man Damo, who's usually on the show, he's a big fan of Ben Simmons. He's been telling me and Reem, listen, Jay, but this is the year. Ben Simmons is about to make the leap. This is the summer. Next year is Ben Simmons' year. We've been seeing the videos. He's hitting jumpers. Dunks, a few crossovers, but one thing is missing. I don't know if I could respect these summertime jumpers from Ben Simmons if they are not in Chris Brickley's gym, the Mellow gym, that Black Ops gym. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I can respect this right now.
Come on, man.
I don't know, bro.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, I see it. He's making a few. They looking nice. They look a little bit better.
A few.
The mechanics, it can still be worked on. But I see the confidence in the pickup game. It's not in the Brickley gym. It's in some random gym. I don't know who he's playing against, because I don't see other NBA
Look like a high school gym.
Yeah, it do look like a little high school gym. But I'm not mad at it, because I see him actually attempting to take them. Now, will this confidence translate into the games next year? Because that's what's got to happen, and that's the Achilles heel of the second.
I think with our two bigs, I think he's going to shoot
more than ever.
I'm thinking about it, man. I'm looking at it in a game where Ben Simmons is going to have to shoot at least 8 to 9 jump shots a game, man. He's going to have to do that. But he's so dynamic, I want you to really think about this, man, because I read this. Ben Simmons is a great rebounder.
Yes.
He's a great transitional player.
Great.
He's scoring 18 points without shooting a jumper right now.
Yeah. I think he averaged 19, 7 to 7, something like that.
Yeah, he passes very well.
He does.
So what I'm saying to you is, everybody is looking at Ben Simmons and it's like, yo, just get a jump shot. It's like you can't see the greatness of everything else he does. So what I'm saying to you is, all he needs to do is hit a couple jump shots in the game, and he may mess around averaging 23.
Can he hit those though? Can he?
I think he can, man. I'm confident, man.
So you gotta believe in these videos.
What is he like, 22, 23? He's just turned 23, right?
I think he's 22 or 23, one of them. He's
23.
Yeah.
He's 23.
Okay.
Man, he is 23 years old.
Yeah, I believe this is 4th year coming to the league now.
He just got maxed out. So he's comfortable. He's comfortable. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be his year. I think he's going to come out.
Okay.
And he's going to be pulling jumpers. And then
jumpers.
Well, the reason why is I think he's going to pull up. I ain't going to say threes. I don't think he's going to shoot threes, but he's going to pull up and shoot elbows, mid-range, fadeaways. I think that guy, I'm going to bring him up again. Al Horford. He is a great locker room guy, man. He is going to.
Yes.
Because you can say Jimmy Butler was a great bat. He was not a locker room guy, and he was a veteran of the team last year.
For that young squad, I don't feel like.
Well, exactly, but he wasn't a great locker room guy. Do you know what Al was going to have him believing in himself? Just being a vet. Like, I'm telling you, man, that's a huge pickup for us, man. And I think he's going to help Ben out in so many ways. But and also what's going to help Ben out is he's not with that Kardashian chick no more. I mean, he's going to be out there. He's going to be out there pulling, baby.
Yeah, that was a hindrance on him. I ain't gonna lie. It was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I just think, man, I'm hearing you, Just. But I will say this again. Just looking at what I've seen, I can only go on what I see. And he is very confident pulling them jumpers. Them against NBA cats out there. Them against them ain't no bums he's going against.
True indeed.
So he's pulling on them.
I hear you. And when I look at Ben, I mean, to me, he's not the most skilled I've ever seen. But his mechanics are solid. He's a very good passer we spoke to. He's phenomenal in transition. But to me, I always ask myself the question, is his production like directly correlated to his height? And when I say that, and I think that's what we'll find out a lot this season. Because I want to know, is he a big playing point, or is he a point that just happens to be big and uses his height advantage? I feel like that's something that we're going to find out this postseason, this upcoming season for Ben Simmons, because
why can he be a point, man? Can you break that down to me? Why is he? Why he's a point guard right now?
See, because I think he's better suited at the three. To me, I think he's better suited at the three, where you don't have to rely on him on having that perimeter jump shot. So to me, if you put him at the three, right, and then you have another point guard that you insert into the lineup, someone else who can take away ball handling responsibilities from him, so that the defense can't key in on him and sag off of him and use that as basically a tactic to kill his confidence. So if he's playing off ball, you get him on a few post ups. He's a phenomenal passer, phenomenal playmaker, and then you have, with him playing the three and inserting another point guard, you have another shooter on the floor as well, which can also open up the floor for him a little bit better, where he doesn't have to be on the ball at all times, where they can use that his lack of jump shot against him. So I feel like he'll be better suited at the three, me personally. So that's why I feel like
So what about the fact that we were 16 bounces on one rim away?
True.
From going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And all I'm saying is, they didn't stop Ben Simmons in that series.
No, he had a really good series, and he played great defense too.
Yeah, and it was one game in that series where he had 30 when Embiid sit down. 30. So all I'm saying is, man, I think we're too hard on this young man. I think this year, going into this year, I love what your boy said, man. This is his year.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is his year. He has 5 years. Look, just think of our core the next 5 years. Yeah. Our core is there.
Your core is locked up for
we nice, man. Nice.
I do think Ben Simmons will definitely improve the season. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about him shooting 8 jump shots, but I think he's gonna probably take about 4 or 5 and maybe hit 1 or 2 out of those 4 or 5. Hopefully. And I think he just needs to find a little teardrop, and I think he'll be fine. At least a little teardrop will be nice for him as well.
I'm gonna throw this out there, man. I really think our bench could use Carmelo Anthony, man. I think he would come.
Yes.
I think he'll be great coming off the bench and play a little power forward for us, man.
Yes.
Like he would. Great. I mean, he'll be great for us, man. Could you imagine that? Come on.
Why Elton Brand isn't calling him up there? I mean, I
don't know why. I don't know why. I can name 15 teams right now that can use Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench.
100%. I'm off the bench. He can still get you 15 a night easy. And him also learning from a guy like Tobias, who's practically a baby Melo, learning from him behind the scenes. And I think, Melo was already being a quote unquote kind of like a developmental coach. Not really a coach, but the summer workouts, a lot of guys are going to Melo. So I think Tobias will benefit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Kuzma went over to the gym. He was working out Kuzma the other day. And I forgot who else went over there. Donovan Mitchell was getting some post moves from Melo.
I love Donovan Mitchell, man.
Yeah, Spider Mitchell. So there was a few guys. So I think Tobias will be a great will be great learning under Melo as well. So Philly could definitely use Melo. So I wanted to ask you, man, championship or bust for Philly this season? Is it championship or bust?
I think all the dominoes fell perfectly for the Sixers to go to the finals. So I do think it's championship or bust.
Okay.
I think at least get to the finals though. Like if we get beat in the finals, that's something different. But I think we have to go to the finals. Like it's no losing in the East. Like we're a better team, and you probably don't believe it, but let's be real. That was a huge loss for the Bucks to lose. Old boy that went to where did he go?
Oh, Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah,
to the Pacers. Oh no, that was a huge loss.
Huge loss, bro. Huge. And they think they're gonna whoop us?
No, that was a huge loss.
Come on, man.
They replaced him with Wesley Matthews, but it's not the same because Malcolm Brogdon is a very, very good player. He's an excellent role player.
Yes, and the Pacers, man, be careful.
Yeah, they're a solid team too as well. When Oladipo gets back, they're gonna be a solid force in the East.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to the finals, man. I don't see anybody stopping us, man. I think we're going to be the number 1 seed. If we happen to be the number 2 seed, then we're gonna beat everybody that plays us, man. I just don't. The only team that I think is like we don't really know about right now is Boston. So we'll see how they look. Because I think Tatum's gonna take a step forward. And
yes, I agree.
I think he's gonna play a lot better without Kyrie around. Because he did before. But that Rozier loss, that's another loss.
It's going to be interesting in the East. And I think injuries are going to dictate a lot what goes on in the East as well. So we had so I went out on Twitter and I said, can we get a couple of 76ers questions? So I'm going to read about 2 of them that we got. So from, what's his ad name? Fasola Dorain. I know I'm not saying that right, but you know who it is. He said, basically, he was the first question that we had. He said, fellas, what if Kawhi didn't hit that shot? How far do the 76ers go last season? And to me personally, I actually think your boys go to the finals last year if Kawhi didn't hit that shot. I think that shot was so important for so many reasons and for so many things that happened that transpired after that and this summer. I think maybe Jimmy doesn't leave if you guys head to the finals. Maybe Kawhi doesn't leave because maybe he doesn't feel fulfilled because he didn't win a title yet, losing on a shot like that or something. So I think that shot was so important, and I think it changed the complexion of a few teams in the Eastern Conference for this summer. And I think your boys, you definitely do go to the finals if Kawhi doesn't hit that shot last year. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think, and I think we probably win it because I think we would have beat the Warriors. They was hobbled. We definitely would have. Without KD, they wouldn't have beat us. Man, they wouldn't even have a chance. We beat them with KD in a regular season.
But the problem is Embiid. Hopefully, he would have been healthy in that series because you guys would have needed him.
Yeah, I think for the championship though, Embiid got hard, man. I think he'd have gave us everything he had. But you're totally right, man. I think we'd have walked to the finals.
Yeah.
I think it would have been tough. In shape. You're right, man. He's definitely out of shape. I think he needs to lose about maybe 15 pounds, man.
I could see that. He's got to get a little bit leaner, a little bit quicker down there too.
Yeah, but just leaner. He should be just better basketball shape, man. That's bad.
Definitely, I agree. So that's going to be interesting leading up to regular season. I know you're excited for your 76ers. I'm excited to see how this roster construction is gonna work, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah.
So let's get to this crossover segment.
Not a game. We're talking about practice.
So I'll be throwing out player comparisons from different eras. My man Akeem asks his GM and he tells me who he would take out of the 2 in their primes if he was building a team. First up, I know I had some good ones for you last time. I think I had Kevin Johnson in the one last time for you, right?
KJ, baby, Sacramento legend.
Yes, sir. Still slept on, by the way.
Hall of Fame, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So first up in this crossover segment, Tony Parker. Are you building a team, taking a prime Tony Parker or a prime Stevie franchise? And let me give you the career stats. Tony Parker, 15 points per game, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 49% from the floor, 4-time champ, finals MVP, 6-time All-Star. Stevie franchise, 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 42% from the floor, 3-time All-Star, 1-time Rookie of the Year. You building a team, Got both of these boys in their prime. Tony Parker, Stevie Franchise. Who are you taking? Build your squad.
Man, I always like Stevie Francis, man. But I gotta go with Parker. I mean, I like Parker, man. When he was in his prime, he was cold-blooded. Yeah, he was cold-blooded. Mid-range Jimmy, go by you with the hesitation, pull up, great team player, pass to everybody. Oh, man, he was spectacular, man. I like Francis, though. Him and Coutinho when they was out there, man. And, I mean, just him and his bounce. I mean, he was like a, if he didn't get injured, he would remind me of Kevin Johnson a little bit. He was on that level.
Yes.
He was just getting injured, man. And I don't think he kept himself in shape. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I think he smoked a lot, man. I seen him. I'm not gonna lie, man. I seen him. He was cool with Isaiah Ryder.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so when he used to come to the West Coast for the games, man, Isaiah Ryder was in the Bay, man, just hanging with him. You know what they were doing, man. So I just don't think he was fully invested.
That could be true. Listen, I'm not mad at that. I can't disagree with any of that you're saying. Definitely.
Who you got?
I'm going Stevie Franchise, my brother.
Really?
I'm going with Stevie Franchise. Prime Stevie Franchise. I'm going with Stevie for his explosiveness because I was a big fan of the franchise. And I feel like if a player like Stevie Franchise in this era, I think he'd get you 25 and 8 easy. I think he was a phenomenal scorer, killer crossover. His offensive game to me was top notch. He did lack some, I would say, defensive awareness. I think he wasn't really, I would say, what's the word? I want to be careful with the words that I'm using here. Yeah, I don't think he was really invested on the defensive end because
he wasn't committed.
Yeah, he wasn't committed on the defensive end because I always felt like he definitely didn't live up to his potential. But I always thought that he was one of the most talented point guards to play, and I loved his explosiveness, man. He had a nice Jimmy, nice mid-range, a nice little pull-up. So I'm going with Stevie Franchise for me. But it's tough.
I'm not mad at that though, because I'm not gonna lie, that was really a good.
I like TP though. I like TP. He's a winning player. You know, there's certain players that are just winning players, and that's what he is.
Man, I'm thinking about it, man. Oof, almost made me want to just
switch up.
You know, but I'm gonna keep Parker, man. Okay. I think he was a lethal injection.
Can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, taking a prime Draymond Green or a prime Chris Bosh. Let me give you the career stats. Draymond. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 43% from the floor, 3-time champ, 3-time All-Star, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time All-Defensive First Team. Chris Bosh, 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 49% from the floor, 2-time champ, 11-time All-Star. Building a squad, you taking Draymond or you taking Chris Bosh, bro? Who you got?
Yeah, it's not even close, man. I'm taking Draymond Green, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm not a prisoner of the moment, but I'm a Draymond Green fan. I'm a huge Draymond Green fan, and I'm so happy he got his money. So let me go ahead and give a shout out to the Warriors paying his man his money. He is probably the most just unselfish like star we have in the league, man. He is an absolute bull. Like, who doesn't want someone who's on the team that does all the dirty work? And not just that, man. He's like a new age Dennis Rodman. This cat will get up under your skin. He plays mind games, man. And then he got game around the rim, man. And I mean, I like a dog. He's a dog.
He is.
And I'm just wasn't really feeling. I mean, in Georgia Tech, Bosh was nice, man. I liked him. But when he came in the league, he just that elbow little pull up was a little pretty jumper. He just wasn't physical. Wasn't, I don't even know if LeBron didn't go there. What would his game totally look like? I just didn't see it. He didn't hit no big shots for me. I didn't see it. I just didn't see it, man. I wasn't really I'm not a huge Chris Bosh fan, man. He's soft.
I hear you, and I agree. I agree with you. Remember Shaq called him the RuPaul of big men. You know what I'm saying?
Did they say that?
Yeah,
I didn't
Shaq.
even know.
Shaq.
Right now, we call that
I remember when Shaq said that. He was wilding. He said that Chris Bosh is the RuPaul of big men. That's the...
Come on,
You couldn't get no more disrespectful than that. You couldn't get no more disrespectful than that. But
not just that, that's spot on.
but with all that being said, right? I'm not a fan of either one of these dudes, right? So that's why I put those two together. I'm not a fan of either one of you, but I'm not gonna lie though. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, bro.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to disagree here because
you picking RuPaul up? Oh man.
Listen, because with that aside, because he's 100% right on that. He's 100% right on that. I think Draymond, he has the most diverse skill set, right? The most diverse skill set out of those two, and I'll give him the nod on that. But the reason why, and this is the only reason why I'm picking Chris Bosh, because if I'm a GM and I'm building the team, I don't think that Draymond Green could be your second best player on a championship team, but I think Chris Bosh can be your second best player on a championship team if you had the right number one. Feel like he can be, and I love Draymond's Green. A lot of people know I give a lot of shit to Draymond because I do think he's a little overrated, and he wouldn't be as
overrated.
Great. A little bit, yes. Because if he didn't have those all-world, historic, great shooters on his squad, he wouldn't.
He can't help that. He can't help that.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's true. That's why I can't fault him for that. He does play his ass off, and for his role, he's a superstar in his role, which I do give him credit for. And I just feel like he wouldn't be as effective without those two shooters, and also he wouldn't be as effective if he had another point guard who actually facilitates and controls the offense, which Steph Curry does not do, and which he does allow Draymond to do. So those three, him, Clay, and Steph, are a perfect pairing for their skill set. So I'll give him that. But I don't feel like Draymond will be at his full potential on every other team. So that's why I would have to go with Chris Bosh, because I do feel like he can do a little bit more for me, and he can give me 20 and 10 a night, which I would like for my second best player on a championship team.
Wow, man, I get it. You know what I mean? But man,
I'm not mad at you.
I'm starting to notice some things. I'm starting to notice some of your picks, man. It's always offensive oriented.
No,
doesn't care about defense. Like, I'm sorry. That is James Harden.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, but these two. Well, Tony Parker wasn't a defender. Stevie Franchise.
Well, he wasn't a defender, no. But I mean, you still went the opposite way. I'm shocked.
I did for his explosiveness, but see, for me, it's because I was never a big fan of Draymond. You're a Draymond guy. I'm not.
Man, I like the dog. He's
I like that part
dog.
about him. Listen, demeanor, mentality, that intangibles, I'm taking that over Chris Bosh any day of the week.
Man, he plays defensive. Was he ever defensive player of the year?
Who? Draymond? Yeah, he did win it. Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. What is Bosh won?
First team. He was an 11-time All-Star. He averaged damn near 20-10 for his career. 19-9.
Who's this, Chris Bosh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Chris Webber-ish. You know what I mean?
It was. But listen,
20 and 10 nowadays is what? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not as difficult to get 20 and 10 nowadays. But
I mean, nowadays, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Chris Webber's been overlooked.
A few years ago, he was getting that 20 and 10 Heat days, Toronto Raptors days. Huh.
Yeah, man, he saw. We can.
You're not checking for RuPaul.
That is so funny, man.
Yeah, look that up. I'm not gonna lie. Shaq said that.
I know you own your basketball game, man. I'll never question that. I know he said that's how.
Oh man, it was hilarious. I couldn't remember you said that. But yeah, brother. So we definitely gonna be checking into your 76ers, most definitely, because we are in for a very intriguing season. Moving up in the NBA, and your boys are going to be heavily scrutinized, the 76ers, because they're at the top of the food chain at the East. So it's definitely going to be interesting to watch, man. And you definitely going to be back on here again for sure talking about them Sixers, because I'm ready to trash those boys if they're not doing well.
So, and I appreciate it, man. I'm going to tell you, mark my word, man. If we go to the finals, I'm going to let you know I'm flying. I don't care where we at. I'm flying at one of them finals games, man. I'm already...
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm not a broadcast, so I make cool little money. I told myself I'm gonna treat myself
Yes.
to one of them finals games, man.
Yes.
We go to the final, I'm at that. I'm telling you right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen,
I'm telling you, man, we're gonna be there.
Over there. If it's in Philly, I'm trying to get over there because that's right over here.
Oh yeah, how long is that from you?
About 3 hours. Yeah, coming to York,
ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Ain't bad, man. You good? Yeah.
Good. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to watch, brother, for sure. So before we get on out of here, man, so tell the family where they can find you at, and make sure y'all go check out the Raw and Uncut podcast. Where can they find you, my brother?
Appreciate it, man. Raw and Uncut podcast, Apple podcast. I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm on TuneIn Radio. I'm on Spotify, man. I'm on Stitcher. I'm on Google Podcasts. I'm on every platform.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm on every platform. About to be on YouTube in a minute, but I do have a YouTube channel that you can listen to.
Yes.
And also have a website, rawuncuttpodcast.com. And also, if you just want to, just see this face, man, Google me. You know what I mean?
Find that man. One of my good brothers. So the family, make sure you definitely go out and you go support my man's podcast, man.
Appreciate that, man.
And I was on there as well, so that episode is coming out soon. We did a nice
fire.
on that. Fire episode. So make sure you definitely gonna check out this good brother show, man. Our honorable brother here, such as myself. So make sure the family go check that out. And brother, I appreciate you joining me, man. Once again, it's always a good time when we chop.
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you, Brody.
Of course, most definitely. And family, that's episode 102, and we out.